Hi, and welcome to our show for this week. This week we have a great show for you where we're going to be doing a couple of good things, in my opinion, making prime rib, mashed potatoes, gravy, and carrots. And also we're going to be talking about why is it that some parents are always trying to help their kids out, but that kids can't seem to just progress in life. And they always seem to struggle, and the parents feel like they're responsible for their kids' every behavior. Mary, I would like you to explain why is it that sometimes, parents, we feel so obligated to help our children out at all costs where we don't even let them do anything because we just want to help them get through life. Sometimes I believe that kids need to just go through life and go through whatever they're facing in their own world, in their own challenges. They just need to do it. What are some ways that parents overdo it?
Well, I think that, this is a very great subject because I'm very passionate about, because I work with kids, I work with families, and I help families and kids come together, work together, bring peace, harmony, and unconditional love. However, life is not always that way.
Right.
And, you look at life, there's so many struggles, ups and downs, and the goal for everybody is to just have love, harmony, and be happy, be successful. So obviously parents are always trying their best to help their kids to be happy, to be successful. Now, like you said, the question is, regardless of how much parents try, why is it that sometimes kids still get on that path that is not serving them well?
Right.
And regardless of that, how hard parents try, people are not finding themselves on the right path. Well, the reason is, from my perspective, being as a coach, I've coached people since 2011. I've coached people with psychology. I've coached parents, kids, business people. It's life itself is not easy. It's tough. We all come here as souls and have experience in this body. We're all beings, and nobody gives you a blueprint when you're born to tell you that this is how life is going to, lead you based on this blueprint that you're going to be happy and successful. And also, we come to this world to learn certain lessons and to go through specific hardships, because I believe that's the rite of passage to become that person, because you have to go through those roadblocks, struggles, whatever that someone's going through, in order to get to enlightenment, in order to get to a place that you could feel happy and be successful.
Sure.
Now, not a lot of people get to that level in this lifetime, whether you believe in reincarnation or not, but that does exist. So people go through multiple lifetimes to learn certain lessons and struggle. Because the question is, why is it that if we all have the power to listen to the right advice and have the power to fix something, why is it so difficult for human beings to be on the right path?
So Mary, you were talking about parents wanting to help their kids go through certain lessons that they're going through, but we want to accelerate it, right? As a parent, you want to help your kid out. Why is it important for the kid to go through that and experience whatever challenge that's in front of them on their own without the help of the parent constantly being
controlling the situation? Yeah. I think it's important because regardless of how hard you're going to try as parents to shape their life, they're going to have to learn those lessons by themselves. You cannot expedite through that process.
Right.
It's a process that you have to go through.
Because we as parents want to help our kids out so much, so get through it faster, right? So they don't feel so much pain, because obviously which parent wants them to feel the pain? So you're saying that it's important for the kid to experience that and go through it, and you just step back and watch it as a parent? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you guide them all the time. I think that's why we have parents, to guide us, right?
Yeah.
But not to so much control every situation in their life, because we're taking their ability to learn those lessons.
Oh, I see.
It's like that example of caterpillar, right? In order for the caterpillar to go through the process of to become a butterfly, they go through some hardship, right? They go through in order for them to become butterflies.
Yeah.
Now, can you really expedite the process and go say, I want to help the caterpillars and so you could become a butterfly?
Yeah.
If you do that, what happens?
Yeah, you're gonna kill the butterfly. You're gonna. It needs to be in that cocoon and do its own thing and transform itself into the butterfly. I think maybe we do that with our kids, so that we try to go in there and meddle in the business too much. They're not really learning the lessons. Why is it that people need to learn lessons anyways? What's the point of all of this, this life, right? You keep saying, and I always, because I'm always curious when you say that, hey, we have to learn this lesson. Why? Why do we have to learn these lessons? Why did whatever we believe in, if it's God or a higher power, why did they put us on this earth to keep learning lessons? You keep mentioning that.
Yeah, from my personal experience, I've had a lot of spiritual gurus, spiritual mentors. Obviously, you have to decide for yourself what your conclusion is going to be about life. I always question, why are we on this planet Earth? What's the purpose of humans being on this planet Earth? Obviously, there's no one answer to it, but my conclusion is that, ultimately we want to get back to connecting to God or to the higher power, to the superpower, to the universe, right? Whatever your religious belief is. It's that to do good, to expand on greatness, and to bring peace and unconditional love, because that's what God is all about. Why do you think when we get older, everyone wants to do something good, make a difference, right?
Right.
Do a good cause, do something that is going to be for the overall well-being of the society, is because as we get older, we have that inner drive that we want to get back to connecting, being closer to God. So I think that's why it's that when we all are in this planet, the ultimate goal is to get enlightened and then to get closer to God. So we always want to strive or do better things, and that's why even parents try to expedite that process to control that, so you could be happier and successful and do good. But the process is, that's why there's a reason why you go through certain lessons to learn those things to get to that level to yourself.
Sure. So I have a question for you. So how can parents help their kids really? I mean, at what point do you step in? What point do you step back? I mean, is there some kind of cue you should have as to, hey, I'm overdoing it and I should back off and let the kid do his thing? I only mention that because we have our son. We tend to want to help him out a lot in his life, and sometimes we're learning that, hey, we got to step back as parents, right? So how do you know when is the right time? Kind of like help me through that process.
I think there's no right or wrong way. You have to decide for yourself as parents what you want to do. Nobody has the perfect blueprint. However, I think there's certain things.
Darn it. I wanted to know the perfect blueprint. Yeah, I'm asking you a question.
Okay. Well, the perfect blueprint. It's that, first of all, my message to parents is that you are doing your best with the knowledge and circumstances that you are in. The last thing would be for any parents to feel that they're not doing their part or they haven't done enough. Because regardless of what you've done, you can only make so much of a difference in someone's life, right? Your kids have to ultimately make the decision once they are to that level.
So Mary, specifically, if I had a child who was smoking too much weed and I thought, this isn't right, how do I help that? First of all, how do I help myself get over that fact? How do I help the child understand that maybe this isn't the right thing? Is there things you can do?
Yeah, of course, there's things you could do to help your kids find the right path. Now, specifically speaking in terms of smoking weed. Now, first of all, it's important for everybody to know, current stats hold that, 49% of all Americans smoke marijuana. Now, one of the reasons is that for you as parents, that you need to understand what are the reasons behind someone relying on, whether it's smoking pot, drinking alcohol, eating too much food, all of these sources that we rely on for emotional support, right? It's
like a crutch, right? They're leaning on something.
Right. First of all, what are the reasons behind it? Why is a kid is relying on that? Because there's always a reason. There's always a reason. They're not just doing it just to have fun. They're relying on it for emotional support. And the other question is, how much are they involved in smoking weed? How much are they doing it? How often are they doing it? And if you look at your child and you could, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate their emotional well-being?
Right. And why is that important when you say that?
So if you, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 is the lowest, your child scores like 2 on their emotional well-being. What does that mean? And why is that important? That means if you score really low, then you're not able to function as a human being in the society. You can't go to school, you can't carry your job, you can't carry your relationship, you just cannot function. It's not a healthy human being that could function in a society. Right. So that's why it's important. Okay. And that's why it's important to rate that. And if your child is below 5 or 6 and you think like they're not healthy, they're not leading their life, they're not happy, then that's a moment to sit down, have a discussion, go talk to a doctor, go talk to a psychologist, come to my courses where I have group coaching for families and parents that are stuck and they don't know how to resolve these issues. I've worked with plenty of kids.
And will you teach them how to cope with this? Kind of, will when they go to like, for instance, if they want to join your class, would parents be able to, you'll give them specifics on how to do it, how to help your child out?
Absolutely. First, I'll help them understand, know the reasons behind it, because that will solve a lot of the problems.
Right.
And then second of all, to see if, depending on how old the kid is, the child is, the kid is, and then you see if they're ready, because sometimes the kids are not ready to make a change and there's going to be a lot of conflict. Yeah. And then to find out the strategy solutions, what's going to be workable between parents and the kids, so they could have a solution to help their kids.
Right. And do you need to have a certain amount of buy-in from both the parent and the kid, kind of like a timeout? Let's come to this idea that maybe we can work together.
To intervene.
Yeah, to intervene, but I think sometimes one party wants to intervene, the other party doesn't want to be helped, right? Like,
exactly.
If the parents want to help out their kid, but the kid's like, I don't really need you or care for you.
Right.
Somehow somebody has to be that intermediary, kind of like to facilitate.
To facilitate, right. So it will be based on case by case. So I've had people that the parents are not okay with their kids smoking weed and they're not leading a healthy life, and they would talk to me, and then I would talk to the teenager. And then obviously there's a process that goes, because there's a lot of conflict that goes on between parents and the relationship inside the home. Now, I will make that decision based on being the interventionist between parents and the kids to see if the child is ready. Now, if the child is ready, I mean, I just had a case just last week, it was like the girl was smoking too much and she was skipping school and she was not leading a good life. And over conversation that we had like over multiple times, now the girl was ready. Yeah. She was ready, because I had to get her, like, make her realize what's going on. What are the consequences for her leading on this path? So
it's important for the person going through to understand, why are they doing it? Because sometimes the kids don't even know they're doing something. They're doing something. They don't know. They're in denial. Why. Right. They may not even be in denial. They may not even know exactly why they're doing it. They just know that I have some pain and this substance helps me ease the pain, right? Yes. So it's important to kind of peel back the layers of the onion, if you will, to understand what it is. So if you'd like more information on this topic, then just join up with Mary, because she'll help you and your family get through these kinds of issues that you guys have. So with that, let's talk about pot roast. All right. Not pot roast, I apologize. Prime rib. I knew you were going to get on me. It's prime rib. So Mary, we're going to be cooking prime rib today. Tell us what you want to do and how we're going to get there. Well, I'm going to show you guys, demonstrate what I'm going to cook today. Like Sam said, prime rib. And my cousin Mo, he's going to have dinner with us, and he is the courtesy of his... Yeah, he went and he said, he likes prime rib, so he went and bought all the ingredients for us, and so. And then I'm cooking for him and for everybody else, and so we're gonna have mashed potatoes, gravy, and carrots. Yeah. So let's go and let's show you what. Let's go to the kitchen. All right.
Hey girls, what you girls are up to? You playing? You ready for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You're the best chef ever. I love your cooking. I love your sushi. I don't know how to sushi. I love your chow mein. I love everything about you, Mama.
Do you love my chow mein and you have my sushi?
I never had your sushi. I like everything you make.
Oh, thank you. That's Arya and that's Violetta, Arya's friend.
I like all of your food. I like everything you make.
Oh, thank you.
Mama, I'm running away from your delicious food.
So we have garlic, thyme, oil.
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
And then I put a lot of salt, sea salt, and black pepper.
Okay.
So I'm leaving this overnight to get marinated, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator.
Okay, that looks good. This is prime rib.
Prime rib.
Go to your favorite butcher shop and get the best stuff. We happen to get this from a place called Lenardi's.
Yeah, it's a French grocery store, and they have the best meat.
I like my meat like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's gonna be garlic crusted.
Yep.
Once it's done, nice work. Hello, beautiful. Okay. Can you let them marinate?
Yep.
For 24 hours?
Yeah, overnight.
Overnight. Got it.
All right, now the roast is ready to go inside the oven to roast for 20 minutes at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And this has been in the room temperature for 3 hours because you don't want to take it out of the refrigerator and put it inside the oven because the coldness of the meat will bring down the temperature in the oven and it will slow down the cooking process. So this has been in the room temperature for at least 3 hours. All right, so it's gonna go inside the oven now. Okay, the oven is preheated at 500 degrees and I'm gonna bake the prime rib for 20 minutes at 500 degrees for right now. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I put the roast, I lowered the temperature to 325 and I'm gonna roast it for the next hour. Now, original prime roast recipe is cooked at medium rare. And my family, nobody likes it bloody. So I'm gonna cook it medium to medium well. Some people do a prime roast slow cook. So my sister-in-law, she does a great job and she does a slow cook. Now, I'm not doing a slow cook, so I'm gonna make it into medium to medium well. So if you wanna cook it medium, medium rare, like the original recipe, then you need to roast your prime rib 11 to 12 minutes per pound. So you do the math, okay? So after you, at 500 degrees, you roast it for 20 minutes, then you lower the temperature to 325 and you calculate based on how many pounds you have. It's 11 to 12 minutes per pound if you want it to be medium rare. Now I'm gonna have it medium to medium well, so I'm gonna roast it 15 minutes per pound. So I have about 5 pounds of prime rib, so I'm gonna roast this an hour and 15 minutes, okay? All right, we'll see what happens. Mashed potatoes the potatoes are getting boiled here, so I'll wait till I fork it and see when it's tender, so I could make the mashed potatoes. Okay, let's see if the potatoes are ready. Oh, yep. The toothpick goes in very smoothly. They are ready. I'm gonna turn it off now. Okay, so now the potatoes are ready. After I boiled them, I peeled them and got rid of those, the black spots that sometimes you find. And now they're ready to get mashed. Okay, so my mashed potatoes are ready. I made my mashed potatoes with whipping cream and butter, some salt, and some white pepper. So that's my recipe for mashed potatoes. Okay, so now I made the horseradish sauce. So I use organic sour cream and I use horseradish, and then I use chives. So I mixed all of this and I have the horseradish sauce. All right, now I'm ready to saute the carrots. So I already cooked the carrots, boiled them for 3 minutes, and now they're gonna go get sauteed with butter and some sugar. Now I'm gonna cook it for 2 minutes. Well, looks like this is ready, and the thermometer is reading 155. So that is medium to medium well. We're gonna let it set for 30 minutes and then serve it. How this came.
All right, looks good.
Well, remember what I shared with you guys, that these guys are all about medium well.
Yeah, because I know some people like their...
Oh, actually, this is perfect.
Yeah, they like it
It's
bloody. I just
medium
don't
well.
like it
And
so rare that it's so bloody.
And
So
it's
for me,
juicy
this is
too,
good.
yeah. Oh my God. I think you are gonna hear.
Oh yeah, that is really good. Good
It's
job, man.
very good. All right, let's eat.
Let's eat. Bon appetit.